deeper runs in tournaments and whatnot. So yeah, it's really a strange kind of team, Falcons, obviously with Boros, but right at the start of the year, they came out all guns blazing, man. There was a little bit of the time that we gave them where it's like, okay, they're figuring themselves out. They got this player, now they got this guy coming in. It was all a little bit disjointed for a few months, but once they got separated, once they got clean at the start of the year, we were like, okay, here we go, top 4.
Yeah.
At Kato, maybe this team is really going to take off. And then they dropped off. I think the vibes got ruined, unfortunately, by a particular YouTube video, and maybe they've been really recovering from that. So I would love to talk to some of these players. I think it'd be a very, very interesting sort of thought, investigation, as it were. We are into the action, though, of course. Started a bit slower here at the bottom end of ramp, but Eternal Fire stacked up and ready to go.
Yes, sir. The best of 3 to qualify one of these 2 teams to the IEM Rio event, of course. And the loser of it goes toward that consolidation final, of course, for a second opportunity. So both these 2 teams have 2 best of 3 to try and get their slot. Snappy and actually let Eternal Fire work their way up ramp. I think he's aware it could be a possibility. They could get caught by Xantares. And of course, there's plenty of utility in position as well here for Eternal Fire for this site take. Little right-click smoke over the top of Yellow Wall to block off Elevator. But he did well to remove Xantares from the play. And in the meantime, while Wicadia tries to push his way forward, Snappy's found 2 kills in return. His fellow IGL, Maja, will take him down there, and Dupree's very fast on this flank. Should get the kill, but doesn't. That gives Wicadia a slight opportunity, but he's got to find a way to pick up the bomb first.
Yeah, they have to work a way back in. It's a little awkward for him. He knows it's guarded from one side here. Out of the sandbags. Risky fights, but Madden just doing his best trying to stay alive. Okay, both located. Now have to isolate the 1v1s. Don't allow them to close the gap on him. It's going to happen, though. Magisk will eventually overwhelm. Takes a bit of time, but he will indeed go down. I think, for me, plenty of opportunities there for Wicadia to maybe battle back in. Not going to happen for him. So, it is Falcons taking that pistol. Eternal Fire don't even get the bomb down. However, we have seen them an awful lot here. Just grab these ecos and play the safe game, in fact, when it comes to the econ.
Yeah, absolutely. Wicadia had his opportunity, as you say, not just to get one more kill, but also perhaps to isolate one of the 2, get up a little bit closer, make the shots a little bit easier, and then have the 1v1 to play out. So, couldn't take the opportunity, sadly. Dupree won't want to watch back that whiff of his. Thankfully for Falcons, it doesn't cost them the round. This is a comfortable one. So I'll just quickly run you guys through some of the recent results, of course, from both these 2 teams on Vertigo. We know that Eternal Fire historically absolutely loved this map. It was Xantares and Wicadia's playground when they were at their absolute peak. But obviously that map itself has changed a little bit recently. The way you take A has changed a little bit, especially, which is kind of their main portion of the playground. So, yeah, things do change, and obviously they played it a little bit less than Falcons have recently. They found a way to beat Cloud9 on it, of course, yesterday. Have beaten Falcons on it, of course, in that Cologne play-in, which is a good sort of litmus test and a baseline to look at how much Falcons can improve since that. And they've played a lot of it since. They played a lot of it in August, especially. I believe they've played 7 times on Vertigo in August, and they've won, I think, 6 of them. So, or 5 of them, sorry. So, yeah, it's a good map for Falcons. It's becoming a good map again for them. So, this is why this particular matchup is so interesting, considering Falcons' recent return to form.
Again, this is another game that you've got to get past, man. But it really does feel like we have a meeting of 2 fantastic squads here with great potential, and they've shown their ceilings. Absolutely both of them deserving of qualifying. You know, you might say, okay, Heroic at the moment, poor run of form. OG, still a team that is lacking some of that firepower, lacking some of those pieces. Maybe arguments for Cloud9 as well. But Eternal Fire and Falcons, it feels like the right time for them to qualify through. It feels like a good time, particularly for Eternal Fire, I would argue, for them to place well at Rio. So it all begins here with Vertigo. Slow creep up the ramp. It all begins here on ramp, as it does with so many rounds. Nothing showing at the moment. It will slow down for just a second. They move into the meat grinder. Snappy pushes forwards. Madden only goes 1 for 1 as well. There's still some Pius in the site he needs dealing with. Calyx got to be careful. Yeah, knows what's up. Doesn't want to give his position away as the bomb goes down. Here's a footstep, maybe. Some Pius loses his life. What's it? Not finished. Sets up another here. Dupree in the 1v1 all of a sudden, though. Is he going to find it? No, he won't. Calyx creeping round. Clutches up as the smoke dissipates.
All Calyx and all Woxic. I have absolutely no clue how they found a way to win that one. Some Pius is in a good position toward that little cubby behind the box from the opposite side of Gap, and he shoots one bullet with the M4A4 and jiggles around for seemingly no reason. I'm not sure why he needed to reveal his position like that, and why necessarily he needed to swing. I felt like he could have possibly waited for the bomb planters to come off of it while it was in the smoke like that, and Dupree considers the fact that Calyx could still be toward Gap, but he smartly takes map control while Dupree is in the sort of the middle of dealing with his teammate. And yeah, it comes through from elevator. Dupree was aware of that possibility, but it doesn't work out for Falcons somehow. That does, though. Great boost in the following round to get Madden's M4 in position. It removes Antares from the game, and Snappy once again finds the kill on that MP9 to deal with Maja. Slow start for Antares on Vertigo. Certainly unlike him, and Snappy just being a menace right now.
Bit of a monster, isn't he, to be fair? I think it's the kind of game where he likes to thrive. Back in the day, I'm talking like heroic, you know. He really was quite an aggressive player.
Yeah.
And maybe toned it down a little as his ability and, of course, the game as well really did not like that kind of play style anymore. But having a bit of fun with it on Vertigo, and Eternal Fire are a team as well that I think like to dictate the pace. So if you're the ones messing around with them, then you can set yourself up for a pretty good round. 4v2 now, location spotted. Ooh, nice from Wicadia. And that's what happens, you know, you walk straight into the bullet. Snappy may well be humbled a lot faster than he was expected. Got to finish this round off though, fellas. Wicadia falls. Calyx gets to join him. Some Pius on the 5-7. At a decent range there to give Falcons 3.
Yeah, a bit of revenge after Woxic, hit that jiggle headshot in the previous round to somehow recover it for Eternal Fire. Sometimes it's the same in the following with the 5-7. Really nice from Falcons, not letting Eternal Fire get close when they absolutely could have after that unlikely gun round victory. Puts them back down to pistols once again. And the return to form, of course, we're talking quite a lot about the form of players on this Falcons team. It's not all down to individual level sometimes. It can also be down to ideas and confidence, full stop, and finding a way to make winning a habit, which is something that they've been really struggling to do until the last week or so. So, yeah, it's been a great rebuttal from them recently. And Madden's looking better individually. Some Pius in particular is playing very, very well. You had a few off periods, I think it's fair to say. And they've found some of these answers and the mood in the camp. Every BO3 they win, the mood gets a little % better, and that can snowball in a good way.
It is true. It is very true. Here we are, though, back around with a big one for Eternal Fire. Got to start laying down some presents, man. If the Falcons can make Vertigo work, I would be somewhat surprised. You know, it is one that's sort of in their repertoire at the moment. Magic's going to open up. Uh-oh. This is not looking too good. Madden does go down quite quickly to Wicadia. Oh, good creep. The sense of timing on this guy, I noticed it yesterday as well. You know what I mean? So many of the moves. He just knows what's up, man. They got a kill towards B, sort of stairs, main, however you want to call it. And he's like, okay, if there's a guy coming here, I know he's going to be around at this time. And now he's just crept in behind through the smoke. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous from Wicadia. That's got to give him the round. Fights off a bit more. And will be punished, but surely Eternal Fire cleanup.
Unless a kill through the smoke comes through, or maybe some utility gets put into practice to force one open. It's not going to be easy for Falcons, and as such, Snappy is not close with his incendiary that could have perhaps delayed a bomb plant. So Snappy and Sunpius will choose to save. AK recovered. Snappy makes sure he grabs it and then sprints back behind the elevator in case someone was looking for an exit kill. Eternal Fire will get their second on the board. Of course, important thing to mention for a lot of you guys who are just joining us, of course, is that both these teams are playing from their practice setup on LAN in Serbia. Both of them currently competing in Wicadia, Belgrade. So, to be fair, you could say it makes the game even fairer in a way. The fact they're both playing in similar circumstances, not from their own rooms, different setups, probably playing from similar setups in Serbia. Makes this best of 3 all the more interesting as the next gun round gets underway. The jump throw incendiary to make it as deep as possible toward B, but no one from Eternal Fire needing to go toward that just yet.
Alex, ooh, that felt like it should have been his. Sunpius takes his first frag and doesn't even take a single point of damage, Trav. Kind of wild none of those bullets land, to be honest.
Straight up whiff.
Again, Eternal Fire. Yeah, but proper big man
whiff.
whiff. You know, it's not even like you've shot him in the sort of top of the neck and it doesn't register as a headshot.
Just miss.
Yeah, just straight miss.
Yeah.
Straight silhouette. Straight Pulp Fiction moment. There you go, there's a reference for you. Magisk. Making his own references, because that is a typical play of one of the best angles the game has ever known.
Absolutely, that was clean from Magisk. And Xantares has not had much luck in this opening stages of this game. Bless him. 0 and 7 gets boosted up as the player who's looking to hit that entry on the default box. And Magisk, well, he hits 2 headshots before Xantares can hit 1. And just more proof that the individual level of this Falcons team right now is ramping up. And Eternal Fire not really finding much success at all. And you're going to need players like Xantares to recover. He, of course, will still be the man to get the dropped AK. He's still called Xantares after all. It's just a pure fact that he's been one of the best riflers Counter-Strike's ever seen since like 2016. Just hasn't got the achievements, of course, after choosing mostly to play with his countrymen. But yeah, he needs to step up once again if Eternal Fire to get a respectable T side here. And Falcons, they've not really made many errors, but for that first gun round thus far, it could be 6-1 to be honest.
Oh. Dupree traded instantly. Sunpius maybe going to think twice about swinging in here. Takes it with a flash, takes it with some support, decent nade. Oh, very decent nade, in fact. Antares on high, trying to find something. Sunpius with the super safe angle. Snappy struggles to get it. Wicadia. And he's taken out through the side of the box. This is getting dominating, man. The Falcons not slipping up at all.
This might be Xantares' worst start in a map for years, honestly, which is a shame. It's happened in the qualifying game. But as I said, it's just a reminder to people who maybe haven't seen the bracket yet or don't know exactly what we're playing for here. Those qualify, of course, for the main event of IEM Rio, and there are 2 spots through this EU qualifier, not 1. So the consolidation final is still there for either one of these 2 teams if they are to lose. The winner of this best of 3 does go straight through to Rio. And Falcons in general lately have looked particularly good. And in this game, so far, they're looking particularly clean to continue that form. They've kind of suffocated Eternal Fire, it feels like. Haven't really got much progress, but for that 1 gun round that Eternal Fire clutched from the jaws of defeat, pretty much. And that could be a critical miss smoke. You can see immediately, he's called a teammate over to throw it instead. Madja, the little ramp lurk smoke that helps the player maybe edge their way forward toward the corner of gap perhaps. Will miss. They'll just decide to force their way up in the end instead. A little bit more pace Eternal Fire could use here to regain some success.
Tough, isn't it, man? The fatigue setting in. The fatigue absolutely setting in. These guys are locked in sort of 24/7 at the moment, playing in Dacia, playing this qualifier. They were in the flow yesterday. Maybe they have peaked. It is tough. Maybe they want that time off, you know, where you are subconsciously, right? You've qualified through to the playoffs of Dacia. You know, you lost that sort of seeding game, as it were. And then you're like, okay, well, let's take our foot off the gas a little. And you have to keep your brain present. Even just that hour or so break or whatever that you might have is like, this is quite nice. I could do with the rest of the day off. But nope, you've got a qualifying game. But then also, there is another one tomorrow. You know, so it's this fight that you have between the body and the mind and trying to stay present. And maybe at the moment, Eternal Fire kind of losing that. Another death for Antares. And Pius is just given full run. Not a single kill comes round. A beautiful double spray down from Madden as well. Falcons, they want this. They are really, really playing well right now.
I really love Madden committing to that spray down as well. The second shot from Pius was particularly nice, and then Madden just pops up, not expecting re-aggression when they've got such a big advantage, Falcons. And Eternal Fire, as I said, just not expecting that, and Madden, that's beautiful from him. And he and Pius, 22 kills between them, and only 5 deaths. They're gaming right now. And Eternal Fire struggling to get going. Wicadia will start this round against Snappy, though. That's maybe a start. And AK, of course, now available. Magis needs probably a couple from here. Oh, and he's got 2. I would say 2 is probably enough because he's on damage actually to Magia and Woxic. M4 recovered, but they're both tagged down a little and the rotations will already be in. 3v3, there is a chance here, but it's a glimmer of hope. They only have 1 nade and no other utility.
Wicadia on the creep. Oh, the edge of the smoke could have worked for him there, but it didn't. He's just missed this opportunity, hasn't he? And Dupree sets himself up in a beautiful spot. He will get checked. Oh, my goodness, and finished pretty cleanly.
Oh, no.
Pius got to be careful. Tag down low. 5-7, not enough for him. It's all going to be on Madden in the clutch. Great game out from this guy thus far. Wonderful spray down in the previous. Ooh, spotted the edge of the player there. Spotted the front of the player there. They're just trying to gather that information. They may well have seen him now. Is he in towards the bridge or not? The answer is no. The peak's not coming Madden's way. They'll go for a double swing. And that's it, isn't it? The dink lands. He can't break past this generator. So he's just going to try and deny guns away if he can. They are coming his way. Katie are going for the AWP. He just doesn't want to give it at all. Okay, so it was more of a super safe save rather than trying to grab those exits. Either way, Eternal Fire, half by round there, bread and butter will work.
Yeah, fair play. And actually, the way Eternal Fire bounce off of each other there with Magia and Wicadia at the end of that round, you could tell, obviously, Magia still only had the Tech 9. Wicadia had the AK, and he was still full health. Magia was desperately trying to make sure he was in a position that if Madden managed to tap him down, Wicadia could just instantly swing. And Wicadia was ready for it. He was on the edge of the cubby wall there, to the left of the stairs, of course. And he was ready and raring to go if there was an issue. That's what Madden was trying to do. He was trying to put a few bullets toward Magia, fall back, force the main threat in Wicadia to peak, but in the end, Eternal Fire was just too smart and did not allow Falcons to do any of that at all. So they get 3. There's still a chance for a 5th, of course, in this half, but they've got to break down 2 full gun rounds of Falcons still. Plenty of money available. And if Eternal Fire are to get out of this half with 5, I think they would be... They would take your hand off for that. That is unbelievable considering how good Falcons have looked. And Woxic, that's an all-important opening. Good spawn, uses it to the best of his ability, and gets the success toward Magisk.
Very, very nasty indeed. No one at the bottom end of ramp. They have to make this 5-on-4 work, right? They've got to secure a couple rifle rounds before moving across. Woxic on the slow creep. Just ready and waiting here for a fight is Pius, having a good game. Needs a couple here. Or at the very least, a quick one and escape. They're going to try and find a timing. Flash comes in. Oh, the leg. Not good enough. Yeah, Wicadia was there. Lovely little move. Even if the AWP finds the kill, he gets traded instantly, right? And that feels worth for Eternal Fire. So really great play. As it is, Falcons maybe even stay early. Oh, Madden. Maybe not. Maybe Madden's got control here. Finds one. Gets a second. It's messy. He's in that flow through the smoke. Just like water. It's so beautiful. Cuts them down. Major left to do it all, really. Calyx on the other side of the map can't help this situation, so it becomes a completely different round now that he's alone. Clean find. Don't give him this, but my goodness, Falcons, what a recovery.
Incredible. Calyx has a smoke, but there's just no way you can deal with both these players on this angle. Look at them, both holding it. Madden gets a quad kill, and my word, has he had impact in this game. He does have these maps sometimes, doesn't he, Madden, where he just absolutely pops off. And really makes a name for himself all over again, and certainly he's doing that tonight. The third through the smoke was just perfectly done. 17-3. God damn. And we're in a real possibility here that Eternal Fire could end an entire half of Counter-Strike without Xantares getting a singular kill. And that has to be a first. I'm convinced of it.
Oh, surely, man. Surely, or at least the first in such a long time. Absolutely insane. Yeah, it's tough, man. It is tough. The man's been shut down. It's one of those. I really do wonder with a player like Xantares if the mental game, the mental blockage has been a really big factor within him not being able to grow, not being able to hit those super high levels. And he's up against Magisk, Dupree, Snappy, all players in the past that have bested him, have shut him down. May well be another case. Beautiful contact play round, though.
There we go.
Has been a few decent reads. You spoke it into existence as Xantares finds his only kill of this here first half. It may well be one of the biggest of the entire Eternal Fire T-side campaign. One goes down, 3 versus 3 on the retake now. Dupree moving fast. Falcons have got to close this gap.
Oh, I quite like that from Dupree. Making sure he swung with the incendiary, but it's not going to work, I don't think. Woxic holds the line, and Woxic, in that powerful position from Sandbags, gets 2 more. 4 is something for Eternal Fire, but they're going to need their stars to wake up a little bit more. We'll see you in a minute.
Ich sitz auf meiner Fensterbank, die Nacht zieht vorbei. Ich blick über den Tellerrand, trinke Sekt auf Eis. Ein Teufel und ein Engel tanzen auf dem Parkett. Vielleicht sind wir unsterblich, müssen nie wieder weg. Ich sitz auf meiner Fensterbank, die Nacht zieht vorbei. Ich blick über den Tellerrand, trinke Sekt auf Eis. Ein Teufel und ein Engel tanzen auf dem Parkett. Vielleicht sind wir unsterblich, müssen nie wieder weg. Backpack, Kippen und Drinks gegen Tristess. Großstadtbild, komm mir nicht weg. Kopf fragt, mach kein Pisstest, nein. Ich will nicht auf deiner Party gehen, nein. Engel und Teufel tanzen Schwanz. sitz auf meiner Fensterbank, die Nacht zieht vorbei. Ich blicke über den Tellerrand, trinke Sekt auf Eis. Ein Teufel und ein Engel tanzen auf dem Parkett. Vielleicht sind wir unsterblich, müssen nie wieder weg. Fadet auf den Wohnzimmerdeal. Baby, sag, wieso sind wir hier? Kann sein, dass wir den Boden verlieren. Wir heben ab morgens um 4. Ich sitz auf meiner Fensterbank, die Nacht zieht vorbei. Ich blick
Welcome back, guys and girls, and Eternal Fire, they've got lots of work to do on this CT side, and Falcons looks like they don't want to let off the gas whatsoever. Straight in toward B, this is very speedy. Wicadia on the Julies, we saw him do such great work with it yesterday, but he's so blind, and Sunpius is so far onto the site. Thankfully, Xantares is here, but he needs more, and this is his time to shine. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Xantares has a chance to get a quad kill and finish off this pistol, but Magisk still 86 HP, trying to play the angle on the corner of the building. Xantares pushing forward with Woxic right next to him. Two OG duo from back in the day of Turkish Counter-Strike, but Xantares has to go for a reload with the duel. He's a full reload. He goes aggressive for it and finally gets it done. We wanted impact from the main man, and he's popped up immediately.
Yes, sir. Really, really key time to do it as well. Getting that pistol, it bags a few more in, and he's done so in a fashion that denies the all-important bomb plant for Falcons, the all-important fallback that T-side pistol is known for. They will still force.
Damn.
Yeah. Damn indeed. Because, like, you know, that's a pretty aggressive decision, and this feels like it should be a pretty conservative team. So there you are. Not getting the AKs early. We'll see what the move is going to be then. They've got plenty of util, to work with. Maybe that's part of the idea. I'm not sure. Looking for a catch-up. Contact flashes in here. Moving fast on the execute. Eternal Fire not dropping anyone just yet, but there is an awful lot of potential. Madden nearly the double for him. Calix has to pull off the reload. They've given up the site. Calix trying to go forward to regain that control while he's on low HP. It is a mess over here right now. There's a flank coming in. They've got to act fast, and they know it. Sunpius has pretty much finished off too. Even with the flank, I think this one's over.
Look how low they all are, though. 27 HP, 24 HP, and 12 HP. But Dupree still somehow found a way to finish off Woxic. But the nade, it works out for Wicadia against Dupree. But there's no kit to pick up for Wicadia. You might just have to commit to a 10-second stick here. And because Sunpius is 12 HP, he's not even swinging this one. Wicadia is going to full stick with no smoke, a 10-second defuse, and Eternal Fire get away with murder.
Wow. Wow, that is certainly the round of the game so far, I feel, to be honest with you. Absolutely crazy. Falcons with the force that we questioned, then making it work, then things slip up. I figured maybe you would indeed look to back off. You've just had your main man, as it were, dinked up, but the flank not held for it. Gets a bit too chaotic for its own good, and Eternal Fire again. That's what they like, down and dirty, gloves off. Really good stuff. And yeah, 10-second defuse to finish it. Why ever not? But creation here for the side of Falcons is the fact that they get that bomb down. So that's where maybe the logic comes in from the force buy, is the fact they get the bomb down, therefore means they can buy up into the next. It's a really aggressive decision. They're trying to make it work. This round not looking too good though, is it? Trav Mad just found the first. He gets off a big nade as well.
I appreciate Falcons still going for these purchases, though. Of course, it makes sense. They know that they've done so much damage to Eternal Fire. It's just a no-brainer to buy again, even if your utility is a little bit light. But they have enough. 3 flashes, a smoke, and a molly is absolutely enough. Even in this 4 versus 5. Dupree boosted up with the Galil on one side. Madden boosted up on the other side. They've already tried their hand toward B. Time for attempt number 2, and actually... Fire once again allowing them to get very deep toward the side, and it's costing them these duels. Madden 2 HP, but in comes the cavalry, all 3 down through window. And Snappy, 52 HP, will get taken down. Sampaio in the open, hits one more headshot, but not going to get the second. Woxic recovers it, and the fast rotation from Eternal Fire puts them now just 1 round behind.
All right, it's closed pretty quickly, hasn't it? Falcons, not enough loss bonus built up for them to do anything here. So, blokes, what are we doing? What is going on, man? What are these decisions on the economy? Snappy with the hero AK. They are so forcing this, man. Like, both literally and figuratively, really just trying to root their way in. And I do not know if I am a fan of it.
Yeah, though. I mean, at least the loss bonus is building up, right, for Falcons. So this purchase, I think they're fine next round anyway. But of course, Snappy will just take the hit. Obviously, it's a little bit surprising that he's the one willing to take the AK for now, but they are swapping. There we go. Madden's got it. The right man's got it now. Madden's got it. 21-7, Mr. Madden. Looking to do more work. Eternal Fire, trying to gauge what kind of buy they're up against, of course. They just won't know after what's gone before in this half thus far. And poor old Zantares. I think the rains, but it pours. Down to 7 HP on Sandbags. He's just not choosing to face. Why would you? When you've been put down that low, and there's no Molotov to remove him from that position, so he could have 4 players looking the wrong way here. Even though he's 7 HP, Zantares gets a 3-man spray down. But it's still a 1v1, by the way. Snappy's found 3 himself. And he has a 1v1 against his counterpart IGL, Mr. Maja.
He's having a little fake here, boys. He's having a little fake. The old classic. Make loads of noise, running away, and then walk back the other way. It is going to work for the bomb plant. The one thing that Maja's got is the fact that, you know, he's playing in between both sites. It fully resets the game. So as much as Snappy's able to get the A-bomb site and plant, Maja is able to maybe outposition him as well. Oh, no! How has Maja found it? And that's a big one. That is a big one. You can feel it. They've all gone for the cheer as he stops for just a second. Thanks the gods up above, and will take the 8th round for Eternal Fire. Where is this game going, Falcons?
Oh, my word. This is delivering, though. It's delivering how I hoped it would. And Maja gets away with it, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't actually believe that round was a 1v1 after all of that. In fact, they double naded Zantares and Sandbags and then never check it is crazy as well. Zantares just decides to hide the whole round and it works out for him to get 3 somehow. Gotta respect that. The nerve just to not face when you're getting pummeled by Util. In the end, it's a big part of why that round is saved for Eternal Fire. Snappy gets caught out by his fellow in-game leader. And Maja will start the next round against Magisk as well.
Wicadia will take the next on to Madden. That's got to be the round over, really. Sampaio falls as if it wasn't bad enough. This is crazy. Eternal Fire have appeared out of nowhere, and Falcons vanished into thin air. And it's not a cool trick. It's a pretty worrying one. It's one of those where you grip the edge of your seat, cringe a little, just in case it is dangerous, you know?
And it's
funny,
as
yet to reappear, Trav. They're as yet to reappear, mate.
True. It's also funny as well, because, you know, I was talking about the HLTV interviews that Sampaio and Woxic have done, of course, in the last few days that have been released. And, you know, like, I think Magisk actually did one as well, and he kind of mentioned that the main thing that they found a way to start winning more comfortably and more often is these mad rounds, these chaotic rounds, these situations where they'd find a way to fall when they're in advantageous positions. And thus far, there have been plenty of those in this second half. And Eternal Fire have won them all.
Mental. Absolutely mental. Timeout from Falcons. Maybe feels a little bit late here, blokes, but they are indeed going to try and return things. And, you know, the beauty of the gap being closed is the fact that 9-8, it's only one round. You might have lost 5 in a row here, but you can still recover it back. Easier said than done, of course. Got to refine themselves. Rediscover, reinvent. With Madden going 21-9, you've got to be winning this game, guys. He just needs a bit of support.
Yeah, to get off the mark, Falcons on T side. I wouldn't say, despite the force buys, I wouldn't actually say they've mismanaged their economy too badly. Even the round where they bought a lot, of course, they could still buy the next round all well. This one, though, is a rough look. They had to go for it. They had no choice. But look at the utility they have to work with straight away in the round. 3 smokes and 1 HE. It's going to be all down to individual duels and timings. And Calyx is ready for the mid boost of Dupree. And where do Falcons even come back from here? Because lack of utility is really going to be that main issue. They managed to boost themselves up toward B stairs in an okay fashion. And I do need to be very ready for this. Madja goes down, and Madden creeps through the corner of that smoke. They're using that utility to the best of their ability, and that strategy actually works to perfection. Every single Eternal Fire player gets caught off guard pretty much, and suddenly it's a 4v2, and Eternal Fire will be saving.
Okay. Falcons then. After the timeout, and this is one of the big things that they're able to bring with that experience, with the amount of voice, the amount of get up and go this team is going to have. They can bring those rounds out. Really well done. And as you say, catching them all off guard, you know, an actual sound strategy as well. Wicadia, not going to get checked. Oh, no, and a double comes in. Great little spot there for him to just eliminate a couple of rifles away.
Handy, to be fair, for Eternal Fire and for Wicadia to find 2 more. Absolutely limits that money for Falcons in the following round to help out in the future as well, not just the present. In the present, it's put Snappy down to a Mac 10. In the future, it might give Falcons a couple of less rifles in a following purchase. Falcons have found a way to get off the mark on this T side once and for all. A bit of cheeky smoke pushes, changing up. And that's things that Falcons are more willing to do now. They're more willing to take those gambles and those sort of weird rounds. It can make them look silly sometimes, but when it doesn't make them look silly, then it feels like it's an absolute masterstroke. A bit of tag by Magisk there in the Molotov. So that's information for Eternal Fire that they're all over ramp. How far they're up on ramp as well. Alert smoke to come to the goal for Snappy, but not be a spray back through, and Wicadia finds it with the AK. Xantaros' nade somehow deals with some Pious straight up as well. And Woxic, not necessarily needed to pick through that smoke, I don't feel. Thankfully, Xantaros is a double headshot, and it gives Eternal Fire a 3v2. Bomb just goes down in time, and it's all Dupree in a clutch. Through the elevator smoke, straight into Madja. No worries, Madja was very aware of that possibility. And Eternal Fire will hit straight back, my friend.
Indeed, immediate return from them. Kind of incredible to see as Falcons, they've hit a pretty solid wall. They take the time out, they win the round, but the one after that, really not nice. Really not much in it. I'd go for another timeout here, you know, why not? Something needs quelling, something needs sorting. Because Eternal Fire have just taken over, man. You know, we talked about 10-9. It is close. It is doable. It is this. It is that. But unfortunately, you've won 1 round in the second half out of what is 6 played, about 7. And maybe, unfortunately, it will stay as 1-1 round. Trade is there from Snappy, but too many bodies to get through, of course. 3-on-4 now for Eternal Fire.
Madden, though, I'm not sure. I mean, sure, they did somewhat clear out mid. So I understand why Xantares is pushing to maybe get some control even further, thinking that they're all done and dusted in that position. But pushing in a 4v3 is always something you feel like isn't advisable. Any man advantage, to be fair, unless you've got a teammate for support. And Falcons might be able to take advantage of that. Back into a 3 versus 3. Magic in mid. Got Alex here as well. And they managed to get a killer piece pretty nicely, to be fair. And it all ends up in a Wicadia Madden 1 versus 1. Wicadia top fragger for his team. Madden top fragger for his. It's the two main men about to do battle.
Oh, Madden goes in. Right next to each other here. Moving in. Not going to be able to find the head. That was close, though. That was close. If he was stood up, I think he goes down. But because he's crouched, just not quite the perfect crosshair placement from Madden. It's rough here. It is rough. We have seen Falcons. Look, I still think some really wild economic decisions in the early stage didn't quite help them. Maybe, as you say, it's sort of this logic they're trying to apply. This isn't their map pick, so they can maybe take a few liberties in that sense. You're testing things live, as it were. But they have also become a little unlucky on a few of these clutch situations. The 50-50s going against them. It's another opener for the Orth, though.
Yeah, so many of those 50-50 situations have gone against them. There have been... How many rounds has it gone down to 1v1? Is it like 3 or 4? I think all of them have gone Eternal Fire's way, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, just sometimes that's what life can be like in Counter-Strike. And look how deep Wicadia is here. Surely you might get caught out. Yes, exactly what I thought. I thought he was about to readjust his crosshair to pre-aim that little Z connector underneath the map. And yeah, that's exactly what he does. And not ready for some Pius to pretty much jump scare him. A little bit deep again from Eternal Fire. They're really taking a lot of liberties with this mid-round aggression despite having advantages.
Slow walk up towards B here. They have found marginal success over on that B bomb site, so it does make sense they're trying to end here. Not a lot, though. 2 smokes, 2 flashes. Well, sorry, rather, 4 flashes. Gonna get them rolling in. Nobody blinded by them apart from themselves, it feels like. What pick in for 2, nearly 3-man Sunfire, though, trying to keep the level alive. There is this flank coming in. It's on pretty good timing, Madja. So ready. Will they consider it? Will they think of it? It doesn't look likely. Madja's going to go down. All onto Sunpius. His location is known relatively well. Madja does not have to jump the gun. Sunpius looking to take the fight with Madja. Oh, and Madja stays alive again. Another moment. You can see it, can't you, in person? They're nice in their high-fiving ahead of time. Eternal Fire really showing us what they can do given a chance.
It's incredible, isn't it? Add it to the list of 2v2s and 1v1s in this second half. Falcons have found a way to win only 1 round. All these close rounds. It's crazy that they've all gone Eternal Fire's way. Falcons will be watching back the demo thinking, how on earth have we not managed to get more than 1 on T? Very entertaining, though. Surely not for Falcons, but yeah, a couple of occasions you could see Magic, pause, go for the fist bumps. Of course, both these two teams in person in Serbia right now for another event. Of course, they'll both be competing in tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. And they've made their way through the play-in for Dacia Belgrade. So yeah, very rough for Falcons, but this was Eternal Fire's map, and with Anubis up next, I feel like that's one that I've seen Falcons do a little bit more good work on lately. In general, Falcons have done good work lately. So, let's see how long this series will go on for. Wopsicle once again started off, though. He's had so many important impact kills in this game, it has to be said.
Yeah, second half, especially this latter stage, especially. Aid is good. Magic's softened up. Ooh, Dupree, there he is, though. Pulling it back. In for the two-piece. Madden to join him. Lovely team up here. And honestly, should just be the save. I mean, the money's not great for Eternal Fire. And the round is just sort of over. Again, they're so tagged up. But this time around, Eternal Fire not going to be able to capitalize.
Yeah, a round that looked like this earlier. It was Wicadia's flank with the MP9 that picked off a few low HP players. But there's a lot of reasons to save here for Eternal Fire, even though they've got kits in play. I think even if they knew the exact HPs of everyone, I think they'd save. Calix needs to play a bit more aggressive on the exit to try and limit that money, but he only gets one. And yeah, Eternal Fire, 12-9 becomes 12-10. The money they have, Calix is pretty much double eco, and so is Magia, but obviously he's saved. You kind of have to full eco here and play for round 24. So over time, there is a world, there is a universe, and it could be this one.
Okay, let's see, man. This is intense stuff towards the tail end. It really does feel like that qualification game. You know, there is so much at stake for these teams. As I say, you know, Rio, it's a fair way off. You've got plenty of time to prep. Is a big angle, and it always feels like one of those tournaments that fits into the calendar that is just very winnable, you know? So we'll see if they can scale up to that point. And again, it is a perfect time for these two teams with where they're at. They can keep the form rolling, dabble in here, dabble in there. They might find themselves, you know, playing in a challenger event potentially in that month. So there's loads of Counter-Strike for them to get involved in, and I think they can keep this ramp going. So if you can get the quick qualification spot, it's really going to allow you to back yourself. Falcons. Quicker up ramp here. Forward moving utility. A lot of very quick rolling attack coming in. Lightning War being used, of course, by this squad, and it looks pretty damn good as they will just find all these frags. No scariness at all, no shenanigans at all. It all comes down to the one-round shootout.
Here we go. Here we go. And of course, because Magia and Calix were pretty much double eco, that makes this final round 24 purchase a little bit rough around the edges. No AWP for Woxic, double MP9 on the two I mentioned. So, yeah, it's we could have a late little rebuttal here from Falcons to take us through to extra rounds, but we're going to take this round with as much care as any other round they've taken care with in pretty much their entire career. This is a chance to get it back to OT.
All quiet at the moment on Vertigo. All the way up right now. It could come crashing down in an instant. The Falcons, they've worked so hard to get here. To this point, to this potential overtime. Magia with the refresh. Does that not feel a little deep? Maybe susceptible to a few boosts here or there, but maybe it's all part of the plan. He just creeps in. He goes, well, there's an opportunity here. I could find a frag. And indeed, turns it into something positive.
Wow. Can't believe he actually uses that to his advantage. Snappy caught walking away. That's a tilter for Snappy, without a doubt. Especially in round 24. And as it's an MP9. Falcons have a lot of progress toward A, though. A lot of progress. And they might catch Eternal Fire in the progress of taking control toward A. It's a 2-for-2 across the map. It retains Eternal Fire's one-man advantage. Sumpire still here. All three now here, of course, because they know what Falcons' plans were. Bomb dropped in the open. You could see Sumpire's looking at it. And as soon as he looks away, that is when Woxic pounces. It's all Magis. He's peeking into three players. At the last time of asking Eternal Fire get over the line. Very entertaining map. So many 2v2s. So many 1 versus 1s. Eternal Fire found a way to win a good percentage of them, though. And Falcons will be looking back at it and saying, damn, we could have had that probably.
A bit more chaotic. Those are the rounds where we find success, which is anti what you would expect from two players out of the most structured, the most clean, and the coach, most clean team that we've ever seen in the game to date, since before. And it's just kind of wild to me that they are playing this super fast style, and it seems like it still needs some work. You know, there were some great rounds in there. There were some very messy ones as well.
They have started to play a lot cleaner Counter-Strike though, and you know, gelling together. You know, people say, "Oh, how long do Falcons, you know, let this sort of thing continue?" We'll have to see what happens in 2025. That's for sure. But currently, things are progressing, and they're progressing down Canal on this pistol round very much, and that's a lovely tap from Dupree. Catches the timing on the shot on Woxic, and Xantares down to Magisk 2. And with Calyx falling, this Eternal Fire pistol has been pretty much stopped before it's even started.
No, it is very true, sir. Nice little bit of distraction from Madja, trying to, just pull in a few kills. Oh, he's not expecting the second man in behind. Oh, God. Oh, God. That's unfortunate. He should have had 2 there. Wicadia, he's going to get the 2, though. Maybe we're on for a bit of something. The bomb needs recovering, and they know that, but the pistol round, man, can go fast. Can go bang, bang, and he drops 2, right? Really scary prospect. Flash goes in. Can't find the heads. You feel like at this point he's had enough opportunities that eventually 3v1, they're going to find the heads, or not even just spam him down, as you see here. So, not looking good. Another angle to contend with now. A very drawn-out fight at the canals, just because it is so long and really hard to peek into multiple here. Always winnable, he feels. Ooh, one more of those, and maybe we're on. He's so low, but he's brought it into the 1v1, and Sunpius has to give the position up. Not a lot of damage required, but it's only a headshot that Wicadia needs. Oh, he crosses under. Is he going to drop here? He's going to take the risk, but Wicadia makes it past. He's not got a lot of time to get this bomb down. The chase is on from Sunpius, but he does give it up for a second. A nice safe plant. Wicadia gets his USP out, but not quite in time. It just about works for Falcons.
Just about would be right. There will be certainly some nerves there on Sunpius that an unlosable situation has suddenly become losable. And to be fair to Wicadia, he does absolutely everything right. Sometimes you can be guilty, like a 1v5, just playing a little bit lackadaisically, not really trying as hard as you would maybe in a 2v2 or something, thinking, oh, it's a lost cause. But he continues to jiggle Peak Canal over and over again. He eventually gets those strafe one-taps on 2 more. And even though he had no health left, the fact that he managed to path his way back to the bomb, Sunpius was, you know, he was very concerned, that's for sure. Backing away, dropping down, trying to stop Wicadia from getting that plant. In the end, the fact that Wicadia does get 4 kills and that plant means that I have an AK, 2 of them make that, and the Galil in the following round. And even though Madden does so much damage, they're just completely overrun the site.
Nasty, nasty. Snappy on the edge of the smoke here. Does manage to drop one, but he's traded quick. And they needed him to stay alive, particularly with these low HP bars, right? He could have mowed through a couple more. It's unfortunately a universe that we're not going to get to see at all. Magic's and Sunpius just saving here.
It's crazy how things change in Counter-Strike and how, you know, micro decisions, fractions either way, can change how a game pans out. This CT side might be very difficult now for Falcons. If they don't win the Force by War, and it could all come down purely to the fact that Wicadia gets 4 kills on a bomb plant in a literally lost cause position in the pistol. It makes up their mind to go for the buy, all the money made, and they just go for a pure contact play through the main smoke. And it works immediately, despite the damage done. And now Falcons respond with 4 MP9s and the M4. Eternal Fire will know what's in front of them. They'll know 4 spies won't be stopping until one of these 2 wins 2 rounds in a row.
Madger. Ooh, a little dangerous. I think he saw that player on the minimap as the smoke was starting to dissipate. So somewhat panicked smoke. Really, really important round here. Spot coming in. Dupree at range on the MP9. Fair play. Smoke, Nade doesn't quite make it. Round the corner. Thought he'd try and go for it. Didn't want to give himself away in the same vein. Man advantage really important here for the Falcons. There's still a minute remaining. Snappy, though, has got himself in behind, but then there's one behind him, sort of. It's all a sense of timing. They're watching for him. God, this is a mess. Calix gets the kill. Brings it back to evens. Down goes Dupree. Down goes Madden. And all of a sudden, a round has opened up. Eternal Fire's patience pays off. Magic's nothing he can do.
Wicadia is just so good, man. He's just so good. His first bullet accuracy is sometimes just completely unmatched. Magic's actually... There's a world in which he goes for this. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, because it's the Force by Walls, of course. He's got a kit. And Woxic is a long, long way away. Wicadia, I mean, he's ready in case things go down. Let's just see. Magic's wandering up. Wicadia will give it a look one more time. Is Magic's waiting for sound? He absolutely is. He's going to get the kill. Can he just get the defuse right now? He could have. But he's going to go straight in for the kills, I think. Okay. Maybe he didn't know how far away Woxic was. Because I reckon if he just holds the bomb there, Woxic might only just get there in time. I don't know. Would be close.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really dangerous kind of finish. Falcons going to have to stomach it, unfortunately, though. The Eternal Fire Force buy has paid dividends. They will make their way up to 3. And then we'll see Falcons buy back round trap. So a lot of pressure, really. It is that T-sided map, and that old argument that a lot of teams, a lot of players, a lot of pundits will lean on. A question here, of course, of where it goes and whether Falcons can put together a CT side.
It's evolving now, that's for sure. I definitely don't think it's as T-sided as it once was. Counter-Strike in general is very T-sided right now.
It's true.
But this map is evolving for sure. CT sides are starting to find more answers, more strategies, the amount of utility you can put in toward Canal, go aggressive through a main, through Canal, and team up for a pinch. See that quite often as a change-up for the CT side now. But yeah, we'll have to see. And of course, Anubis is being played a hell of a lot, as of course, with the map pool being kind of as it is right now. Some teams that maybe won't want to play, Vertigo since the changes. These two obviously do, but lots of teams don't. Also interesting that in this veto and for Eternal Fire in recent times as well, they actually do perma-ban Ancient, which is not necessarily a map that many teams at the top level do. Will deal with the last, up to 9 and 2, and losing the Force by Wars will certainly hurt Falcons, as I mentioned before it even happened. Madden gets to get off the mark after such an incredible map 1, all in vain, sadly for him. It's time to see if the Falcons buy and get them back even quickly, or if it's going to be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, the $1 million question early on, to be honest with you. If Eternal Fire can dictate this game, dictate this map, then it does feel like qualification hopes for Team Falcons will begin slipping and slipping. Of course, as we've mentioned, there is that consolidation final going on. And that will allow a second opportunity. That'll be tomorrow evening. So, it's not doom and gloom, and both of these teams in form and are indeed warm, but that's because they're playing at a LAN at the moment. So, it's a big old ask, isn't it, to keep it up for game on game on game on game. And it felt like Eternal Fire were the fatigued ones, and then out of nowhere, they get the second win. Yeah, no, it's so wild how it goes in these types of games when you are fatigued, but then all of a sudden, you remember... You're a professional Counter-Strike player. You remember your Zuntares. Clean find. for the trade back there from Madden, but he will be forced off for now. I like the idea. Snappy, unfortunately, does get mollied out. Felt like Madden, you know, is conceding to bait them in and allow Snappy to do something, that they are playing for all different avenues of the setup. Really well played from Eternal Fire to just cover all their bases.
Yeah, a couple of misnades there. I mean, the flash from Maja was in the end just a safe flash, just to peek into Canal, and he had a second anyway. So it's not the cleanest, but in the end, Eternal Fire, they make it look that way in the aftermath of it with 4 alive. And yeah, once Snappy was stuck in that corner, they figured out Snappy was stuck in that corner. There was no way they were going to let him get out. Eternal Fire, good pathing on this map once again. We've seen them play Anubis a lot, of course, in some of the biggest tournaments in the world. And they are, in general, one of the most enjoyable teams to watch in my eyes. Eternal Fire, with the firepower they have. Even they had fallen off slightly, always seem to bring up banger games. The play-in match in Cologne comes to mind against the Mongols, which was, of course, that match I'm referring to. One of their previous Anubises, or Anubi, whatever the plural is.
It probably would be a new buy, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Because if, you know,
Doesn't
Anubis,
sit right with
the
me.
thing is as well, it does this play. Anubis is like a god, isn't it? Or a person. Someone, however you want to put it. A being. So, is that right? I'm not losing my mind. Anubis, like an Egyptian god, right?
I mean, this map is like got lots of stuff about, you know, Ra, the sun god, I believe.
Yeah.
Around it. So.
I'm sure Anubis is one also. Either way, when you say Anubises, I'm thinking, therefore, that, you know, would be really confusing because, you know, it'd be like Anubis as item, you know, Anubis as dog. Well, it would be cat.
Anubis was an
Egyptian
ancient
culture.
Egyptian god of the dead. There we go.
Bosh! There
Well
you go,
done,
mate.
mate.
Primary school level history. Still in there, mate. Still in there. So, yeah, I think it's a new buy, therefore. That's
Fair
my
enough.
argument.
I can respect it.
Okay. 40 seconds left on the clock. It has been a slow-moving round. We've had a tag from North. That's about it. Burst through the smoke, guys. Dangerous. Very dangerous. Team damage coming in there. Magia will hold the lurking presence, but this still does not look bad. If Magia goes down here, which he will, he's not considering the side swipe at all. That's an AK to Madden. He's got armor. Madden's got to find this kill. He doesn't. It's a 1v1. Or V-Hop. Some Pious, not quite fast enough. Didn't quite lock it in. Wicadia rolls around and baits him in. Knows he may well have been seen. So, very well played in the 1v1. It's unfortunate for Team Falcons. However, you finish that round and you say, good damage, good damage. It was an eco, good damage. Here we go. A bit of confidence for the next.
That was Wicadia just got some Pious there, hook, line, and sinker. That was he completely baited him in that he was running away. I don't think he would have actually had time to run away and plant on the opposite side of the map. So I'm not sure some Pious maybe should have leapt his way in for that one, to be honest. But yeah, Wicadia played him like a fiddle in that one. At least Falcons did damage, as you say. It's something to think about for them. Slight positive, but again, it's maybe one of those rounds that's got away. And obviously, Wicadia and Wicadia especially have built up quite a bank, so it's not going to be much of a consolation, perhaps, to Falcons. Wicadia did really well to react to the player jumping in behind him as well in Canal, before he had to help his teammate. Thankfully, Wicadia got the kill in the meantime. And Wicadia will actually just take a straight heads-up duel in the second time in a row. And once again, he bets some Pious. Wicadia kind of owning him right now.
Maybe just a little, my guy. Magisk. Creeping. Looking. Gagging for this first kill. Falcons are in Struggle City right now. Centaurez gets another. Oi, Magisk got the angle against the rifle. The AWP's a bit quicker to move off rather than dedicating to the fight. So it is a tag, but tag ain't going to cut it, man. You need these kills. if you want to keep this dream alive. Magis desperately trying. Strong sight anchor, and he will indeed find one, but again, not going to be enough. There is a Madden in the mixture. Confident move there from Wicadia, but it is the problem towards mid is that Dupree is locked down. He just cannot move anywhere, so this one's over.
Yeah, Madden has a path to exit as well, so he'll try that. That is what he'll do. Try to fall down there without making a sound, but misjudges it slightly. And yeah, that's again just a really good pathed round by Eternal Fire, playing it smartly. When Xantares was preparing to come through camera, I was just thinking about Magisk, like, one of the hardest things in CS to do, to worry about, you know, a main on Anubis, and have to worry about camera as well. He had Madden in support, but Magisk tried to do a lot of it himself, and gets caught between both angles like I thought he would. Unfortunately, can only get that 1-for-1. Falcons not showing as good a form as we've seen from them on this map recently. Don't forget, they've got 6 in a row, dating back to Challenger Yongshipping, actually, if I'm not mistaken. So they haven't lost on this map since then. Unfortunately for Eternal Fire. Or fortunately, I should say, actually. I'm also on a 3-win streak, so as I said, something's got to give between these two, and right now Eternal Fire putting their foot down on team side. Deep smoke coming in, and Maggio and Xantares will just choose to go straight ahead of that. Madden won't be expecting that, I don't think, nor will Dupree. And they know Madden is stuck behind that smoke. Gonna try and blow it open as well. Woxic finds Snappy in the meantime, and Madden's just making so much noise. He is a dead man walking. Calyx finds it, and it's another 4v2 with Eternal Fire looking to take 7.
Yeah, this is getting dire, I suppose. Maybe not expected in this round is the one thing, but, like, you have the context of the rounds. That's maybe, again, where that sort of professional mentality comes in. That's a bit different from you and I. But Eternal Fire still with 7 rounds to your 1. You look up at that at the start of every round, it's pretty tough. You're going to have to start to give yourself some, if you are to build this confidence, if you are to stay alive in the qualification game here. Armor save. Kill. Not bagged. Okay, so they are buying anyway, right? It doesn't really matter too much. Some Pius sort of needs to save, gives him an option for the AWP. But the rest of the team, it doesn't matter an awful lot. He's actually going to get an AWP dropped by Mr. Moneybags. Timeouts come round. What are you saying? 4 or 5 on the CT side, or does it even feel like you need more now?
I don't know. I mean, I think 4 is probably the bare minimum from this position, because, you know, a pistol and maybe Eternal Fire go for a force or something, who knows? That it can, you know, 8-4 can turn into 8-7 very quickly. That's the reality of MR12 these days. That's why we have comebacks, I guess, maybe slightly more often. Not a huge amount of change. I still think that, you know, compared to MR15, teams that were going to win the map probably would have won the map anyway, you know, quite often. But, yeah, just a second half pistol can turn things very, very quickly these days, in the modern era of Counter-Strike 2. Fire pre-molly toward the B side of the map, hoping that no one from Team Falcons will look to fight it, and they'd be right. Dupree has got plenty of utility, and Madden, of course, has a full belt as well, but Eternal Fire are going to go straight ahead of that, and that is just the Eternal Fire way, isn't it? Brute forcing their way into sight before Falcons seem like they're even ready. And that's most likely 8 already.
Looking good here. Snappy gets smoked off. Not much that he can give. I think you got to save this one, fellas. You really got to save it. It's frustrating. They need the round. And again, they are trying to play a bit more confidently, a bit more in the face of their opponents. But this is just not happening, man. Really not happening, and yeah, dropping so many of these rounds. It's super simple stuff from Eternal Fire as well, and it maybe just speaks to a level of advancement from this team.
Confidence in their decisions as well. Like, they know they have the individual ability just to pop themselves into sites like that, and It's worked once already. They say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Try this something very, very similar, just as that main smoke is blooming. That's one of the most frustrating things in CS as well, right? Like, you've got all that utility on Madden and Dupree, and neither of them get a chance to waste a clock or even get a chance to throw any of it down really at all. You think, oh, all that utility could have stopped them. All that utility could have given us more time to think about the round, but Eternal Fire give them no time to think and no time to react. Wicadia is up to 14-6. Woxic is 9-1, and every single one of Magic, Calix, and Vital chipping in at separate occasions. And Woxic once again get an opening onto Snappy.
Magic very lucky to be alive there. It felt like those bullets were going to cover his exit. Wicadia is found low on ammo here, I believe. Double nade, Molotov. Scares them off ultimately, so looking really quite good from Eternal Fire again. It could all change in an instant. Madden with the aggressive angle. He dishes out the damage. They're doing such a good job on the Eternal Fire side of like gathering info but not giving kills away, you know, like it's never too far around the corner. They might take a few shots, but they're not going down. Really, really smart play in that.
Sometimes does answer back. Xantares down. And it's obviously, I think it has to be said, don't get me wrong, Xantares had a very, very good recovery in the second half of Vertigo. But for about a half, maybe a half on each map thus far, he's been pretty absent. And Eternal Fire is still performing really, really well to a really good standard. So it's, you know, Turkish Counter-Strike is plainly just not all Xantares and Woxic anymore. Like, it's hugely promising. Wicadia coming through. I'll get back to that point in a second because Captain's getting his way. Oh, Dupree's not peeking. He's not taking the initiative. 8 seconds. He's trying to buy time for rotations, but none of it's working. Wicadia finds another as Magic tries to force his way forward. Some Pius' rotation is deleted. And everything that could go wrong for Falcons has been seeming to go wrong.
Wild. It's just wild, mate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to get to a point with where we're at of like, okay, you have to feel a little sorry for these guys. So many clutch moments in that first map in particular going against them. This one might be a bit more egregious where it's like, okay, it feels like there is sort of a deflation in some of the rounds and just not quite executing all that well, let's say. Not literal executes, obviously, but just the approach to the map is off compared to Eternal Fire's. But the previous map, it's like, damn, yeah, that's really rough. And then you move into this one, Eternal Fire are just playing a game right now. Woxic 12-1, Wicadia 15-6. Just beasts. Can't be stopped.
Yeah. It's such a good sign, isn't it? I mean, the point I was going to make was about Sangal, right? Like, such a weird sort of composition on Sangal, but their synergy has been unbelievable. They're going through a couple of, like, 2 or 3 cups in Tier 2 this year. Made it through the RMR 3-0. Or made it through the close qualifier, I should say, to get to the RMR 3-0. Jota being their top-rated player from, of course, Eternal Fire's Academy. Xfloud, former Eternal Fire player. It's great to see these guys thriving, to be honest. I'm you know, obviously after following some of these guys' career, especially with Wicadia and Xfloud at the beginning, you almost feel proud of them. And Eternal Fire are going to feel proud of everything on this Anubis thus far. Nothing. Wait. Oh, Madden thought Xantares saw him. 3 kills back in response immediately, though. Thankfully, Trigger Discipline works out, and we're back into a 2v2 out of nowhere.
Okay, could be a bit of something here for the Falcons. Some Pius is low on B. Give us one, man. Oh, the smoke down. It's not quite perfect. However, he's not fast enough to react. Trying his damnedest here to just keep it going. Madden, though, will use him as a distraction. USP is out. The kill comes in. They couldn't finish him. They played a bit nervous. They played a bit scary. I think not knowing that some Pius was so low, right? Just run into him, force that shot out, and spam him down. But yeah, they hear the AWP shot ring off and just get a bit nervy. That allows Madden in, and it falls apart from there. Still 2 rounds. Gonna need the 3 for sure.
That was frustrating for Eternal Fire. And they get the 2 entries again, basically just down to, again, brute forcing it. Brute forcing the entries, and playing it as a group, as a duo, make it look really solid. And then Madden actually plays a bit of a blinder, to be fair to him. Behind the sight, plays a trigger discipline, almost getting caught out by the fact that he thought that Zantares had seen him, even though that came through. Pius got his kill on the other side of the map, and Madden did a very good job. And talking of good jobs, well, Snappy, that is amazing to get 2 with the MP9 from that position. Instant headshots on both those 2 kills to make them a little bit more comfortable. And then Dupree completely destroys Wicadia. So it's a small rebuttal from Falcons at the end of this first half. It's something to work with, but as we discussed a little bit early on, my friend, I think 3 might not be enough. Calyx is in a 1v5 and about to be flanked by Snappy, I would imagine. Calm burst for Snappy. There it is. And it is the 3 for Falcons, but it's a long, long way back. See you after the break.
So here we are, 9-3 at the turn of the half. 2 of those picked up in the final 2 by Team Falcons. Really not a lot to work with. Really not a lot to work with. But Anubis, T-sided game, T-sided. We're about to find out how much, of course. The difficult thing here, Trav, is you've got to win the pistol. And the basic punditry, the basic analysis of pistol rounds is like, they can be a bit random. You know, you can put as much effort in, but if you miss one guy, if the Julies pop off, there's not much that you can do about it. You could have played better, sure, but when you look at it from a percentage standpoint, it's not like there is a set of rules you can follow to find the pistol round as consistently as ever. So we'll see. Fully fledged execute from Falcons, though. This is one of the good ways of bringing it in your favor. There's 4 on this B-bomb site, though.
As we saw what he did with the dualies on the CT pistol on the previous map, he set up. Wicadia's here as well. And I gotta say, the duo of Xantares and Wicadia, when they get those dualies in play, just feels absolutely impenetrable sometimes on these pistol rounds. It's feels like a lost cause for Madden, and it most likely is, I would say. We'll remind you guys, it's not all doom and gloom for Falcons. No, one, they've still had good form recently. And 2, they will drop down to into that consolidation final tomorrow. To still have one more chance at making it to Rio. And of course, reminded that consolidation final, their opponents will be one of Fnatic or Heroic. Fnatic have taken the first map against Heroic, by the way. I'm pretty sure Heroic were 10-2 up in that one. Or 10-3 up, actually, I will correct myself. And Fnatic have found a way to win that 16-14, and map 2 has only just begun. So, very interesting goings-on the B stream if you want to watch that match, but let's see if Eternal Fire can close this one out first.
Wicadia close to the action, as they will all take a nice silent trip down outside the A-bomb site. Another smoke to refresh, though. No chances being taken by the Eternal Fire side of things. I think they know this one is in the bag. This one is in the bag. And these boys generally don't mess up situations like this. There's always so much on the line. I think that, again, is an interesting sort of investigation into the mental of this team, that maybe they do find it difficult in some of the bigger games because they just put so much pressure on themselves to deliver, so much weight, so much, you know, onus on this team to do well. Big nade, big move here, double down, but the MP9 should be able to, at the very least, hold the line. Magic does have to give it up. Oh, the torp down, not going to stop them completely. These mollies, man, they can be a bit tough sometimes, of course. Not the most obvious sound cue in the world when there's comms going on, when there's 4 sounds around you. It's all good in the end, though. I think they'll be happy with that on the Falcon side. In the round itself, obviously not going to be happy that it's now 11-3, but at the very least damage and a bomb plant, and now it just has to be perfect Counter-Strike for at least 8 or 9 in a row.
Yeah. I can tell you my good man Matt, otherwise known as Hayes, would absolutely despise the fact that Falcons full bought on that round. Because now they're full buy in the following round, even with the plant, it's mostly Galils.
Yep.
And obviously, it's fine. Galils are very good. They're an 1800 rifle that is, you know, borderline overpowered for that such little price. But yeah, it's not really a proper gun round, because look at the utility. Doesn't give them much chance to get a proper gun round before perhaps Eternal Fire even hit 12, right? So that is why a lot of people hate that decision to force buy on the second round of the T side, especially when you're this far behind. No chance to create a bit of a comeback. But I guess Falcons looked at it in such a way, listen, we're a long way behind. We need to make as many rounds competitive as possible. There are always 2 sides to the story and the thought process. Probably why they went for it. But yeah, at least they got the plant, as you mentioned. In the end, Eternal Fire just used the movement of the MP9s to their ability. Best of their ability. Works out nicely. And this setup for Eternal Fire on A. Oh, Wicadia is pushing forward. That will not be in a good timing. It's behind the enemy. And Magis will get the entry. Calyx only goes 1 for 1, and they know that Woxic is behind the site, but they still can't remove him. He finds 2. Xantares on the opposite side of the map took Madden. Now Snappy is left wondering where all his teammates have gone. It's a lovely tap on Woxic, but Xantares was directly above him. And Eternal Fire are cruising to IEM Rio right now.
Yes, indeed. Too steep of a hill, too difficult of a climb. The rock has crushed them. Falcons cannot remain stoic in this situation. It seems to indeed have gotten the better of them. Listen, man, you needed the pistol. Let's be real. You needed the pistol. I understand, you know, where your argument is at about, oh, should they have force, should they have eco, right? Buy this, buy that, but
who cares?
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, mate. That's the nice way of putting it, right? There's a certain swear word we could use, I'm sure, that describes the situation pretty well. You all know what I'm thinking. And it is the case for Falcons. First kill comes round from some Pius. A wide berth execute here. Could work for them, but only the Mac 10s. Once these smokes go down, all will be revealed, and you've got a pretty short rifle to work with. The barrel not going to help you out. But if they run into you, that definitely helps. 4v2 before the bomb even gets planted.
Yeah, full Mac 10 buy is going to work here for Falcons. Tunnel fire caught off a little bit by the speed of it. Wicadia tried to find a path back in, as you could see, but there was a Mac 10 right behind that smoke, making it impossible for him to recover. Madden finds the M4 on the floor, and they're going to try and juggle these weapons to at least get 2 of those. I think they have. Yes, they have. So, well judged. But yeah, it's a long, long way back. We'll have a chance for redemption tomorrow. It's either 106 or heroic to make Rio as well. As well as this result isn't an absolute nightmare. But I think this is a pretty fair representation, perhaps, of how this matchup has been, to be fair. Because Eternal Fire have had the better of the Falcons in previous matchups between the two. I think they've won the last 3 best of 3s between them. And we thought today, well, if there's ever was a day where Falcons could find the answer, it would be today, because they're both in the same environment, in Serbia, in their prac rooms for the other event, of course. They're both in similar situations after both having lost the seeding game BO1 earlier for that Dacia Belgrade event. So yeah, it's curious, that's for sure. Falcons have looked a bit slower today. Hang on a second, they're walking into the mixer here, Falcons. This could spiral, but Magisk does get away for now.
Oh, Woxic does not get away. B-bomb site open. And that is going to be that. Probably just hold what you have. Maybe Maggio will dip in and give it a bit of a look. But yeah, I think you just play it safe. I don't know, though. You're 12-4. Could you go for this? You've got to give respect across. It's sort of like a sportsmanship conduct thing. But again, seeing it creep in a little bit, Trav. Teams getting a bit more aggressive in these types of situations. Yes, you should save here, but you could win if you go for it. Why ever not? Look what Maggia's just done. If the rifles were in position, you never know what might happen. But that's not where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, Zantaro's had a smoke kit, so I was actually on board with your line of thinking there. I was thinking, oh, look, do you remember like some of those retakes that are quite memorable? I think there was a famous one done by Rare Atom. Was it against Navi in Pro League or something, where they chose to retake on Nuke on the A site really, really late, and it just completely caught them off guard. They got a smoke kit onto the bomb with like 8 seconds left, and those late retakes can often be a very good thing to put forth if you're a CT side in a sort of a 3v3 where maybe the T side thinks you're saving. Saving is so common, obviously. But yeah, in this situation, it makes sense for Eternal Fire to save. It means they can get a full purchase, no Woxic AWP, but 5 rifles across the board to try and get this one done and dusted.
Wicadia opens out towards A. An aggressive posture from him will find success. An all over the place kind of start to the round, but it looks good for Eternal Fire. They tried some mid-aggression. They lay down some early nadage to remove the opportunity from Falcons, so it is now a full-on recovery to keep this one alive.
4v5. So in position near Canal, but look how many players are here for Eternal Fire, and that nade might be a slam dunk. There we go. Dupree down. Zantares back to a positive KD once again. Snappy working his way forward, but they're going to need to find a kill from somewhere. Calyx will go down in the end to Madden. And that actually is going to force... Oh my god. If there's anything that sums up the game for Falcons, it might be that. That is a freebie for Snappy that he's let slip. Wicadia's had a wonderful game. And he's just caught Snappy with his pants down. 12-5, 30 seconds. Madden and some Pius, 2 versus 3. The setup for Eternal Fire is good toward B as well. Madden will finally make the decision. Zantares Holding the angle, holding both angles actually, while... Actually, is that a disconnection I'm seeing there? Because there are two Yes, it is a disconnection. There are two Xantarases on the little icons on the left there, and it's one of those bugs where the outline of the player is still on the server. That's why Xantaras was looking at it for multiple times and a half. I wondered if there was a disconnection, but I just didn't see the gun on the floor. And that is a crazy thing to happen. Thankfully, it wasn't like 12-11 or something. That would have been wild. But it's a rare thing to see that bug with the ghost of the disconnected player still on the server. You saw Falcons shoot at it for a second. But we've seen it today in a very important game. Valve, please fix!
Insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah. I mean, it can be a bit of a wild bug. I don't know if it is with the outline. They'd lost a player there anyway, I guess. There's like a world in which, you know, he's out of the way. Xantaras finds like the spray down or something because he can see a bit better. I don't know.
That's
but
why he positioned himself there. Xantaras knew what was going on, didn't he? Like, he positioned himself there
hide
thinking...
behind.
Exactly.
But then I think the bullets, like, register as though there's no one there.
Exactly.
So it's a bit weird, isn't it? It is a bit weird. They probably would have shot at the body and still hit him.
They would have got distracted. They did get distracted, but Xantaras couldn't take advantage of that. Xantaras actually...
There's a bloke in the way!
Yeah, to be fair to Xantaras, it's actually a pretty 200 IQ play there to sit next to the outline of his teammate for so long, thinking that Falcons could get distracted by it. Unfortunately, Xantaras just couldn't do the work himself, left alone in that position. And yeah, it's crazy, that's for sure. It's only the second or third time I think I've ever seen that in an official. But all good. Everyone from Eternal Fire is back on the server now. And they have plenty more opportunities to get this one done.
Alrighty. Let's see if it has an effect, though. Team Falcons, given a bit of a lucky one, you would expect this to go their way as well. Buying more time. I would imagine Eternal Fire even hungrier to get this one finished now, then. After some unfortunate events. Nice nade to kick things off. Wicadia tries to go through. There's no one on the other side. He makes it back. Flashes all over. It's a bit of a wild game. More damage onto Snappy, however. He's going to invoke the third law of Counter-Strike, which is, of course, Bogdan's. And I bet there's about 50 people in the chat right now that can tell me who that guy is, but we all know the Bogdan's law. What a time, mate. What a time. The endless content stream that was NA FPL / ESEA Rank S.
What a time to be alive. I do agree. 45 seconds left in this one. There has, of course, been damage to Snappy, as we discussed. But thankfully, the Falcons... I say thankfully, there's not really many people to worry about. Other than Madja, he's doing damage through this smoke. So one more kill to take. Finally, some players will take the initiative and take him down. Now, realise what's going on the other side of the map. Plenty of damage. Eternal Fire. They might play some aggressive exits, but probably no more than that. They will do exactly that, or try exactly that, but Dupree deals with it long range. This is tally up to 5 finally. Just Woxic and Wicadia.
Money? Nope. Money, maybe. Money, maybe. Wicadia. Oh, they are watching him a little bit, but he's not getting hard checks. Spin spot now, no way. No way. He's going to try and hold his armor. Nice find, man, to make that happen. That $300, you know, it makes all of the difference to his personal econ. Tell you what, that's nice. He'll be able to ultimately get a kit, I suppose, where he might not have been able to. Something like that. He's actually not buying a kit just to spite me, Trav. Even though he's got $900. Please buy a kit. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, here we are. Eternal Fire looking to finish things. If this one does drop, then I think, you know, we look at Falcons and we go, okay, there's decent momentum here. They've closed the gap quite a lot, you know, from where it was. So, it could get worrisome if this one falls.
Apologies, there was a very loud noise outside my house. I had to mute for a bit.
No worries, mate. No worries. We would have been none the wiser. You muted perfectly.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of sirens can around in London, of course. It happens. It happens. No comment. Magic's down to 39. It's coming through. Almost would have finished him off, but didn't bounce off the wall correctly.
Slow roll here. Both teams so tentative. You know, this whole situation, this whole game's been put in a weird place because of this disconnection in what felt like the end. Flash comes in. It's perfect. They're a little bit on top of each other, though. Not the most coordinated roll, and the one man on the anti-flash gets them both. Calyx caught out in the open. Eternal Fire felt the need to make a play. Did they? Did they? You know, it's the tough part where they didn't realize, I think, so many players on the other end of Dark is the thing. If they'd sat there, I think their setup would have looked a hell of a lot better, actually, because of the amount of players coming around the other way. It's a shame, but yeah, I think they were hoping to get a flash and maybe find one or two, and they discovered, like, the entire team.
Yeah. Tunnel Fire taking a while to close this out. I won't get too excited until Falcons reach 10, I would say. But they're getting pretty close. And maybe that disconnection when they were on the edge of victory has frustrated them slightly. Taking their focus away briefly can happen. Of course, just to clarify, in those sort of situations, a round absolutely will never be restarted because damage has been done. So, you know, that disconnection had a big, big part to play in the round. That is the rule.
What do we talk about here? You know, what do you say? How do you keep your head in this one? Really quite difficult. It is getting scary, isn't it? You know, Falcons have found an energy out of nowhere, and given what we saw at Cologne from FaZe, it is always possible. And you've got players like this in the squad as well that are looking so damn good, I would imagine. Dupree's doing a lot of the chit-chat, a lot of the mindset. They will fill any role to make this happen. But it just takes one slip-up, one missed shot, one whiff, one unchecked angle, and the whole round, therefore game, and therefore series, and therefore IEM Rio qualification spot will fall away.
Going to take as much care in these rounds for Falcons as you would against any sort of normal eco or normal gun round. Woxic Orc still in play. They'll know that from the exit kills Woxic got in the previous round. And Woxic's going to try and force his way forward. The back of the circuit, though. Oh, my guy is screwed. See you next round, son. Perfect utility usage from Falcons to remove that possibility. It would be frustrating for Woxic. And he finally got himself into a position to maybe do something with it. But hang on. Wicadia is still here. It's only one. Calyx is still here. It's one with the help of Xantares. MP9 in play. Okay, Falcons managed to deal with it. It's Maja 1v2 with a 5-7. Unfortunately for him, I think he's a little bit too far away to make a big factor in this one.
Yeah, possible. He could get some good timing. They're taking their time. So he really could get some good timing, but I think they're very savvy. Oh, and he just gets in, doesn't he, as they bail. Orb retrieved. Kit is there. What a shot! He's not picked up the kit. That will change things slightly. He knows he's now in the thick of it. He's just got to work his way. He needs that kit, though, man. Yeah, he needs it just to make this happen. So we'll see. He's going to get the kit and then reapproach. Still not a lot of time. Some Pius is so far back that he could just hold. You know, a round like this, you think, he's probably not going to have a kit, actually. Gets off thanks to the flash. That might just be enough. Some Pius has played it well here. Does lose the fight. Wait. Is there enough on the defuse? There might just be enough.
He's got it.
There is, Trav. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Some Pius, he'd done enough, but a panic, of course, maybe a call comes in that says there was a kit, because he was playing that clutch like there wasn't one. And just a second, maybe half a second too early from some Pius. And the thing...